Hello, Seiiti Arata. If you have a lot of important things to do, but you are procrastinating, that is, you're leaving everything for later, then you need to know the 70% rule. This rule was created by the richest man in the world so you can reduce your procrastination, you can take action, and achieve your greatest goals. The 70% rule makes you act even when you're feeling uncertainty, when you are having fear, and when you don't want to act. With this rule, instead of waiting to be absolutely sure about something to start taking action, you take action when you are only 70% sure. I'll explain in detail how this works and why this is the rule used in the most valuable company in the world today. Stay tuned to what I'm going to show you now, because this is the most simple productivity technique that you can use to overcome one of the biggest obstacles to the realization of your biggest dreams. So the richest man in the world now recommends that you take action when you are 70% sure to reach escape velocity, get feedback, and correct the mistakes along the way. In a letter to the Amazon shareholders, Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world, recommended that when you are 70% sure about what you want to do, you should just take action and see what happens. This is what he said. Most decisions should probably be made with somewhere around 70% of the information you wish you had. If you wait for 90%, in most cases you're probably being slow. Plus, either way, you're going to be good at quickly recognizing and correcting your bad decisions. If you are good at course correcting, being wrong may be costing you less than what you think, whereas being slow is going to be very expensive for sure. If you ask some people why they're procrastinating to do this or do that, many people will answer that they don't take action because they're not sure if that's the right thing to do. Why don't you look for a new job? Well, because I am not so sure if I want to quit my current job. Why don't you start a course to learn a new skill? Well, because I'm not so sure if this is what I want to do with my life. You see, why don't you, break up from that dysfunctional relationship? Well, because I don't know, maybe later I'll be alone. I don't think I'm going to find somebody better. Usually we procrastinate until we are about 90% or even 100% sure about what we want to do. The school taught us that we should only make decisions when we have a high degree of certainty. If you get only 70% right in a test at school, you're going to be considered just a mediocre student. But in real life, outside of the school environment, if you're correct on 70% of the decisions that you make, is that really a bad thing? Think about it like this. If you had tried to do everything you always wanted and you were 70% right, what would your life be like today? Would it be sad that you missed 30%? Or would you be happy that you got 70% right? Don't wait to be sure to start taking action, or you're going to miss out on so many opportunities. Take action, see what works, and quickly adjust your actions. Real life is not like a school exam in which you have to mark the right or the wrong option. If you take action, even if you're not 100% sure about what you're doing, you can correct your actions as soon as you see the first results. If you try a new job and you don't like it, you can look for another one. If you start a new relationship and it doesn't work, you can always look for a new one. If you start a new course and if you don't like the subject, you can give up and you can try another one. Even if it has emotional or financial cost, it will be less costly than procrastinating and wasting months and sometimes even years of your life without taking action. How many opportunities have you missed by not taking action where you're not so sure about what you wanted to do? The 70% rule makes sure you don't waste these opportunities and makes you no longer afraid of making mistakes. Losing the fear of making mistakes is one of the secrets to reduce procrastination. Don't worry about others, what they will think of you, and focus only on your next action. We often procrastinate for a decision for fear of making mistakes. We are afraid of looking ridiculous in our new job, it to appear that we failed in that new relationship or that we are unable to learn a new skill. We are concerned about what other people will think of us in a case of a failure. This fear does not make sense for two reasons. The first reason is that when we think, if I fail, what will other people think? The same question also means, If I succeed, what will other people think? If there is a possibility that you fail in your decision, there is also the possibility that you will be successful. Generally, the benefit that you succeed is proportional or even greater than the loss if you fail. So one factor kind of cancels the other, much like seeing the glass half empty or half full. It is a mistake of logical reasoning that you only consider the risk of failure. You also need to calculate what is the prize in being successful. Furthermore, doing nothing is also a choice. If you do nothing, it is almost certain that you will not receive the benefits that you would have if you had tried successfully. Now, the second reason is that other people are not so concerned with your life. This is a pretty distorted view of reality. For us, our actions are like the center of the universe. But for other people, our actions are just another very little piece of information in a world of so many things that happens to them. Other people are more concerned with their problems. We are much less important to them than what we think that we are. Of course, the people closest to you, like family and close friends, they will care more about you, about what happens to you. But these are people who will like you regardless of the success or failure of your actions. They will probably even be inspired by you overcoming your procrastination for taking action. Procrastination is in our genes. It has helped us to evolve, but the 70% rule can overcome those genetics. Procrastination is the biggest obstacle for you to achieve your goals. And even though you know that, you will continue to procrastinate. And why does that happen? There is an explanation that was given in a study from 2014 in which the scientists concluded that there is a genetic component to procrastination. We have evolved to act for the short term. Our ancestors needed to flee from predators and find food for the day. So we expect a situation to be urgent to start taking action, and we procrastinate leaving everything that we can for later. Yes, we are genetically programmed, if you want to say like that, to act in emergencies only, to escape from stressful situations. But now we don't have to hunt for today's food anymore. Instead, we can think about the long term as well. But genetics is not a definite destiny for you. By using the 70% rule, you can greatly reduce your procrastination. Think of some big goal that you're procrastinating right now. Now, ask yourself, why are you procrastinating? Is it for fear of looking like a loser in front of other people? Is it because you're not 100% sure about this being something that you really want? In any case, try to start acting today. If you're afraid of failure, take action with fear. If you're not 100% sure, take action when you are 70% certain. Have the courage to act despite fear, despite uncertainty. Action is the only remedy against procrastination. Whenever you find yourself procrastinating, you can ask yourself, am I at least 70% sure that I want to do this? Am I 70% sure I want to look for a new job? Am I 70% sure I want a new relationship? Am I 70% sure that I want to learn something to take this course? If the answer is yes, take action immediately. Have the courage to take action even despite fear of failure. Take action even with uncertainty that this is something that maybe or maybe not you want. In doing so, two situations can happen. The first situation is that everything is going to work out fine. If so, great. Now, the second situation is something could go wrong. And then you have the chance to correct it, to try something else, or to at least be sure now that this is something that you really did not want. In any situation, the options are much better than spending your life procrastinating and postponing your decisions and thinking what the future could have been like if you had acted. The 70% rule is an excellent technique for reducing your procrastination, but it is not the only one. There is an entire arsenal of tools that you can use to procrastinate less, act more, and become a true productivity ninja. That is why I invite you now to watch a special class of the Productivity Ninja course on time management. In this class, you will learn not only to master your schedule, so you'll never have again to be thinking about not having time for anything, because now if you're 70% sure you want to manage your time better, you can act right now by visiting arata.se/time management to see the special class of Productivity Ninja.